Our top story today at 5:30. Findlay put a 12-month moratorium on data centers in April, buying the city time to figure out how they should be regulated. And now the city's working on those rules. But a canceled meeting is raising some questions about transparency and how quickly that process is moving. Jack Crum joins us live in the studio tonight. So, Jack, where does this process stand right now?
Yeah, Mel, so for starters, there are currently no plans for a data center project in Findlay, but city leaders are working on rules if one is proposed after the moratorium ends in April. That process hit a bump this week when a planned virtual meeting was canceled over concerns about it being private. The mayor says it was meant to be an informational session, but others have questions. The rulebook behind data centers is taking form in Findlay.
City council members are trying to educate themselves on data centers, the questions they should be asking, what has worked well for other communities.
Mayor Christina Mern says city leaders have been looking to other communities for guidance as they develop local policy and had a private meeting set up with representatives from New Albany.
New Albany is a community that obviously has very strict design parameters, has very strict building standards, but also has had great success with data centers.
But that virtual meeting was canceled Wednesday evening following some backlash over transparency.
The meeting that was scheduled was an illegal meeting.
Holly Frisha is a former Findlay City Council member.
Through further discussion with several different council members, I learned that it was a Zoom meeting, but it was a closed meeting, and you can't do that. So I'm all for transparency.
She also says the city is moving too fast with trying to create policies for something as divisive as data centers.
Findlay always used to be the diamond that shined in the state of Ohio. We were the trendsetters. With our current administration and last administration, we seem to want to be followers.
But the mayor says that's simply not the case. And the meeting was simply an educational opportunity and not for policy discussion or decision making.
This was completely a legal, permissible meeting. And the thing that people have to understand is we can meet to get information.
And Mern says that information helps make sure the city has their I's dotted and T's crossed for when the year-long moratorium ends.
Obviously, the city of Findlay wants to learn from other people, but ultimately make the right decision for our community. Right now, the zoning proposal that we have in place is looking at a lot of different elements that really I had heard from mayors across the country. And what we have built so far, I feel like, is a very strict code that gives us the most amount of flexibility to evaluate each project on its own merit.
Now, the city hopes to iron out a policy plan regarding data centers by October before the focus turns to the city budget. Reporting in studio, I'm Jack Crum, WTOL 11.